Hello, Facebook friends. My name is Uma Girish. I serve as a grief guide and support women who are grieving a loss, whether it is the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, the loss of a dream, or watching a parent die. I help them make peace with their pain so they can finally feel a sense of control over their lives. Today's video tip is the 3 things the bereaved don't want to hear. You know, when someone we know or someone we have a relationship with loses a loved one, we walk around very confused because we don't know what to say. Oftentimes we are stumbling for words. We're not comfortable being in their presence without knowing what to say, so we just rush to fill the air with words, even though they could be the wrong words. So here are 3 things that it is safer to avoid when you are with someone who's bereaved. The first statement the bereaved just don't find comforting is, everything happens for a reason. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We don't know for sure. But it seems sort of unfair to impose one's philosophy on someone who's just lost a loved one and is grieving hard. The bereaved are walking around like people without skin, and they're extremely sensitive to anything that's said, anything that's not said, awkward silences, all kinds of things. So when they're missing their loved one and just wishing that they could put their arms around their loved one and tell them, I love you one last time, it's not really helpful to hear everything happens for a reason. The second thing that the bereaved wish people wouldn't say is, you have your whole life ahead of you. Right? We hear that a lot. Now, the person who's just lost her husband, her sister, her mother, her best friend, she just had her world crash around her. And she doesn't know where she's going from here. She's just in so much pain that she can't even begin to explain it. One of my clients described it as being in free fall mode, which means it feels like someone just dropped you from up above and you're still floating in space without knowing where you land or when you land. It's like that feeling of being in limbo. So to say to them that you can look ahead of you, there's life to be lived ahead of you, is something they cannot even begin to comprehend, because they just wish life would go back to what it used to be before their loved one passed away. The third thing that is not very useful to tell someone who is grieving a loss is, you have to be strong. Someone who's grieving a loved one's passing is at their most fragile state. They're feeling totally raw and vulnerable, almost emotionally naked, but having to pretend that they have it all together. And oftentimes, because society and culture and close friends and family don't always understand, don't know how to be present to their pain, they often have to wear a mask to conceal what they're feeling and put on a brave, strong front so other people can feel okay around them, even though that's really, really hard. So to tell them to be strong at a time when they're feeling extremely weak and struggling to just hold it together and get through the next hour, not even the next day, just the next hour, can just feel like more pressure. So these are the 3 things that I wanted to draw your attention to, the 3 statements that are often not helpful when you speak them to someone who is bereaved. Now, there are 7 more statements that I speak about in a blog post. It's called 10 Things the Bereaved Don't Want to Hear. And if you look at the link right above this video, you'll find it, and you can go read it on my website. The blog is right there. And these are the 10 statements that it's not very useful to express or share with someone who's grieving a loss. If you have any questions around what I just shared, if you have a follow-up comment, feel free to post it in the comments box. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to read your comments. And if you have specific questions or topics that you'd like me to do videos on, go ahead and share that as well. It was lovely speaking with you. Take care. Bye now.